condemned to shame and sorrow. I was convicted of a lifetime of sin. But then I met this man called Jesus, and I know I'll never be the same since then. 'Cause he said he died that I could live and be free from the shackles of sin. Now they say he died, oh, but I know that he lives, and I've just gotta see him again. So show me the way to Calvary. I want to see Jesus face to face. Yes, and I'd like to thank him for caring enough that he take my place. Yes, and I'd like to kneel beneath that old cross, and I thank him for setting me free. Now it's the only way to Jesus. Show me the way to Calvary.
That was the high note. That was good right up to the ear-shattering feedback. But hey, guys, great job! Great job.
Thank you.
And let's kind of go around the corner, and we'll start with the bass player. And tell us your name again.
Claude Taylor.
Claude. You live in Olive Branch, or?
Yeah, I originally grew up. I grew up where Elvis grew up. See, I met him a couple times when he was working on the Louisiana Hayride. I met Dewey Phillips, got to run around with him a little bit, you know, and I'm kind of from that area, you know.
When you met Elvis, how old was he and how old were you?
I was 11, and he was getting ready to graduate from Humes High School.
And so he was still not famous then, right?
No, he was on the Louisiana Hayride at that time, and he was just beginning to get.
And were you playing the stand-up bass then?
No, I didn't until.
You were a wannabe.
Oh yeah, it was inside of me. It just took me a long time, you know.
And so when you saw things starting to help, did you remembered Elvis? I mean, you knew who he was, and remembered, I mean, that he wasn't like everybody else, even in high school.
Yeah, he was, you know, he was just a regular guy, you know. He'd tell jokes, and we'd come down and we'd play touch football, and he'd come down old Laurel courts down there in North Memphis. But yeah, so I've been older. I've been running around with him.
Well, it's like the other guys that were with him. You know, they said, "Hey, anything we could be around Elvis, we got around Elvis because he was a cool guy." And it stayed that way forever. And it's amazing to me in covering Elvis all these years just how people keep coming back, and now there are kids coming that never knew Elvis. The only way they know him is through the movies and his music. And because I mean, I'll cover it. I'll go out there and say, did you ever? I mean, you weren't alive when he died, so it's just all through the mediums that they've seen him, and even they get it. So it's an amazing story, and it'd be interesting to sit down and talk with you sometime. But let's move on to the next gentleman here, and we get your name.
I'm Rick Adair. I actually live in Sladen, Mississippi. I've been down there a few years, and we all grew up together. We went to high school together. David Barber and Steve Down and I went to high school together, and I worked with Claude at Kellogg Company. And that's how we all got together.
My good friend Ron Olson worked at Kellogg's. In fact, we talked to the Kellogg's guy, manager out there one day, and he said, I said, do you realize how many people that are really kind of famous worked at Kellogg? They go, we got a wing that holds pictures of people that have worked there over the years, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it has been a jewel in Memphis for years and years. I mean, the Kellogg people and that plant have operated there. I remember when I rode an elephant from the Cisco freight yards
Yeah.
down Airways,
Down Airways all the way to
and right
Coliseum,
past the Kellogg's plant, and there was some water in the gutter laying right along, and that's how I found out that elephants cool themselves off by sucking up water and spraying it over the top of them. And should you be on top of the elephant, you become cooled off too, as it were. And let's move on to.
Steve down in here. I live in Olive Branch, retired from Delta Airlines.
Were you a pilot?
No, sir, I was a ticket counter man.
Ticket counter man.
Yeah, in Gates.
And I remember in some of the, because I lived in Tyler, Texas for a while, and the airport was so small there that the guy that took your ticket, then he would put your bags on a cart, and next time you see him, he's throwing the bags on the plane. And then I go, if I see you up in the pilot seat.
I know what you mean, man. It's kind of scary. Yeah.
No, it wasn't though. I thought it was kind of cool. It was, it was the same guy. I said, "You the same guy?" I go, "Same guy." He said, "This is my exercise part of the job."
My wife and I lived in Olive Branch about 13 years, and we just.
And what was it made you say, "Hey, let's go to Olive Branch"?
Actually, some friends of mine had moved down there, and they said it was paradise on earth. So I said, "Well,
I need me a little paradise."
There, yeah.
Okay. And the next gentleman.
I'm David Marbury, and I'm currently living in Batesville, Mississippi, and that's been for 13 years. I worked in Brownsville. I grew up in Memphis, graduated from school in Memphis, and picked with a lot of the bands around Memphis, the old baby boomer bands. So, but we're still around. We're still kicking.
Well, baby boomers are the best. Taylor, you'll find out just some day how neat these guys are. I keep telling you.
We've got another guy from Kellogg's too. Excuse me for interrupting. With Melvin Haney that picks with us some. He's a really good picker, and he's gonna be there tomorrow on the.
Well, we'll introduce him then. We got to take a break right now, so you guys stay with us. We're going to go to Centertown traffic, Vegas action, Southern style with Miss Heather York.